almost just went right into his stomach.
My sock slid!
Are you okay?
Yeah, I'm fine. Yes.
Yes.
The puppy wants to be picked up.
Alright. Hey y'all, I'm Luke.
And I'm Kelsey, and we are the Pearsons.
We haven't seen y'all in 4 months, so this is where we left off. Oh my god, it's literally perfect.
It's so perfect.
It doesn't even feel real. Like, I wish I could hug you. You did amazing. Yeah. Wow, a lot has changed in 4 months.
Mm-hmm.
It's been a journey. We are excited to catch y'all up and just introduce ourselves a little bit more. I started transitioning in March of this year, and now I am 9 months on TV.
Yay!
And I had top surgery in July.
Yes, and that's like the last thing that y'all saw.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel like we have so much to catch up on.
Yeah.
Quickly, but we also have a Q&A of questions from y'all that we're going to ask each other, and we haven't seen. People gave me questions for Luke and you questions for me, and we haven't seen them. So we'll ask those in a little bit. But would you like to catch people up on what's been going on since your top surgery?
So, top surgery overall went amazing. The anesthesia itself was a little bit harder on me than I thought it was going to be, so that took, like a week or two to fully flush out of my system. But the recovery, the hardest part for me, honestly, was just feeling like I was fragile. I felt like I was going to mess something up by doing something just normally, and so that was a little hard, and not being able to sleep on my side because I'm a side sleeper. So
you did really well too of not being able to do anything for yourself for the first 4 days or so, and then you were just over it a little bit, but just not being able to shower and things like that.
Yeah,
and we
stunk.
I didn't smell you, but we got to go out in San Francisco a little bit after his surgery, a couple days after his surgery, and some people are able to just go on about their business afterwards, so we thought you would be able to as well, but you started getting really nauseous walking around, so we really had to just take it easy and not do much that whole week.
Just short walks were all I could really do before I felt kind of out of breath and nauseous and dizzy and just exhausted, which was wild because mentally you feel normal, and then you move around and you're like, whoa, I'm still not right. But that time went by really fast, and we drove all the way back to Portland 9 days post-op. And then when we got back, it was just so much peace and relaxation for me just to be in our own space, in our own home, and be able to recover here. And so then from then on, I just felt just relaxed and just ready to give into the process and the slow recovery that it was. And I would say probably 3 to 4 weeks after my surgery, my incisions were healed up enough to start applying creams and ointments, and just to kind of massage and just start moving around my arms to get more range of motion. And I would say probably for the next 6 weeks, it's 6 weeks post-op, I didn't face the shower to have the water hit me because my nipples were still healing. My nipples took a lot longer.
Yeah.
I had free nipple grafts, which means they took my nipples off and resized them and then replaced them. And so my nipple healing took a lot longer than normal. And so I just had to wait for those to fully heal in order to have water actually hit my chest.
Yeah.
And so I think that was probably the most frustrating part for me, was just waiting on the nipples to heal, and because they would scab and then they would peel, and then it would be a smaller open wound again, and then it would have to scab again, and so that was a little bit frustrating. But I would say probably at 10 weeks post-op, I was eager and antsy to get back to working out.
Yes.
And so I started light working out, nothing over my head yet, but I knew that I was feeling better. Like my range of motion was a lot better. It wasn't painful to move around. I was feeling less fragile.
And your doctor had said that once the wounds were healed, for some people it's more important, like mental health wise, to be able to work out so that you could go ahead and do that and it would be okay.
Yeah. And so I decided that I was going to be ready to start doing upper body workouts when I could do a push-up without any pain or like pulling or like severe pulling and stretching of my scars. And so I would say probably just like a week later, like at 11 weeks post-op, I did some push-ups in here, like 3, and I was like, okay, I'm good to work out. As far as just like pushing, but I didn't do overhead things yet. And so then from then on, I just felt like I was like in the driver's seat. Like I was recovering and getting stronger and feeling back to my normal self, and just so happy and relieved to have the chest of my dreams and to be able to now like build it into what I want to be, and just and then every week was another week on T, and so like just I'm transitioning while also healing, and yeah, it's been a lot. It's been great. And so I don't know, maybe 12, 13 weeks, I started like fully working out, started doing overhead stuff.
You're back already to the weights that you were before your surgery.
Yeah.
Some things stronger, right? But your bench press is back to where it was, which is amazing.
Yeah, so my surgery was July 12th, and then I waited 12 weeks, which is like 3 months, and so that's mid-October, and so I've really only been fully working out for 2 months.
Yeah.
And it feels like a lot longer than that, but overall, I feel great, and I'm really happy with the way my chest turned out, and it's still changing. Like the scars are like flattening out and decreasing in redness on their own, but also I'm doing like a scar cream when I think about it. I would say most nights at night I apply it, but I'm not like religiously applying it multiple times a day or anything like that, because they're gonna fade on their own too. So that's going on, and growing a beard.
It's gotten so long. Down here is so scruffy.
I shaved once in September just because like these hairs were growing longer than other ones, and so I just wanted to like shave it all off and start again, and so I haven't shaved since.
He hated it.
I hated it.
He hated shaving, so.
It's like I liked the shaving aspect, and I'll probably like
the
it.
act of shaving.
Yeah, I'll probably like shaving or trimming at least later, where you could see like dark stubble and stuff. It's just like I'm not to that point yet.
Yeah, not shaving your whole face.
Yeah.
That was like dysphoric. Is that the right word?
Mm-hmm. So we actually have something fun planned.
Yes! So y'all submitted questions for us, and we are going to ask each other those questions right now.
We have not seen what we are going to ask each other. Top secret.
Top secret.
So this is raw, unfiltered. Here are the questions.
Who wants to go first?
I'm going to ask you a question first.
Okay.
Are you ready for this?
Yeah, I'm really nervous.
Me too.
Okay. I'm ready.
All right, question 1. Who or what is your inspiration for your fashion trends lately?
Ooh. Who or what? Okay, so my fashion trends lately, I guess my inspiration is just like neutrals. I'm wanting everything neutral.
You look amazing.
Thank you. So if I'm wearing it, it's probably thrifted or gifted. And so when I'm thrift shopping now, I'm looking for neutral pieces. I'm not even looking at anything else lately.
So what are neutrals? Some people might not know what neutrals are.
Okay, like cream colors, ivories, like this color, I don't really know what color this is. Tans, blacks, whites, just like
solid
colors, no patterns.
Yeah.
But lately I haven't been doing a lot of color or any prints. When in the past I was like all floral dresses all the time. So it's been a shift
from being a teacher to full-time creative.
I think that my reasoning is that I am wanting more like sustainably made clothes, and looking at brands that some of their items are more expensive, so I want to invest in these good pieces and in slow fashion, but I want to be investing in pieces that I can keep for a very long time and wear them with different things and mix and match them.
Staple items.
Staple items. Yeah.
I love your fashion.
Thank you.
Very hot.
Okay, my turn.
All right, I'm nervous.
What is a hobby or skill that you would like to learn?
Wow. We were just talking about
I
this. I want to take up boxing. I want to learn boxing or also self-defense. But boxing has always been something that I want to learn because I think it's an amazing workout.
Yeah.
It's going to get my shoulders chiseled, and it's going to be fun to, take out some anger on the bags. I'm not trying to fight someone, but like I want to learn the skill set.
I was about to say, you're never that kind of angry.
I want to learn the skill set and just like help me get out that energy, And it would be just a fun, different way of exercise because I grew up being an athlete, and so I loved that for exercise, but also I love working out. So just to like fill in that gap of something like more sport related.
I think boxing would be cool for you.
Yeah.
I love that for you.
All right, question number 2.
Okay.
Do you enjoy your morning or evening routine better?
Oh. Well, I'm very productive in the morning. Like I like to wake up and have my coffee and clean, and I'm like hit the ground running with my morning routine.
What is your morning routine?
Waking up, taking the dogs out, drinking coffee and cleaning. Coffee you made me. And then then usually going straight to my computer of either writing or checking emails or planning content, that sort of thing. At night, it's a very different routine of like all of my skincare and watching a movie with you or a TV show or reading with you.
Yeah, it's very different. It's like
It's
the wind up and the
different.
wind down.
Yeah. That's hard. I'm going to go with morning?
I knew. Yeah.
Yeah, morning.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You look forward to your morning routine.
I do. Okay. I do.
All right.
I'm my turn. Okay, this question was from a lot of people.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Did your siblings come around about you being trans? Specifically your siblings.
Yes.
What's the question?
My siblings, I would give my siblings...
What would you rate your siblings? Rate each one, go. Just kidding.
I've been getting so many texts afterwards. So sibling-wise, I have an older sister who's 35, and she's actually exactly 5.5 years older than me. So it's cool that her birthday's my half birthday and my birthday's her half birthday. I have a younger brother who's 21. Yeah,
Yes.
21. And a younger sister who just turned 16. And I would say I probably talked to my 16-year-old sister the most. We were super close when she was born. Like, I was like the third parent for her, but also her best friend.
She's the cutest freaking person in the world.
Yeah, I love her so much. And so we're probably the closest right now. My brother is a college baseball player. He's busy. He's not a very talkative person anyways, but like he called me on my birthday and uses my correct name, Luke, and
y'all talk. Y'all text sometimes.
Yeah, we text every now and then. We text like if the Braves won the World Series, so we were texting all through that. So like we have our topics that we talk about. My older sister, she's also just very busy, but we still talk. Like when we have a chance to talk, she uses correct name.
She was the first one to come around, actually.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, shout out to the older sis being the first. I love my siblings. Of course, I always hope that we get closer and closer, and I want them to know every little bit about my journey, and so that they know, what I'm going through, and just so we can bond through these things. Yeah, I love my siblings, and so short answer, yes, they've all come around.
Yeah.
All right.
Good question.
Yeah. The next 2 questions are kind of connected, so
Okay.
I'm going to read them both.
Sounds good.
What were your initial thoughts when I told you that I wanted to transition? Did you always know I was trans?
Okay. Let me take that one in.
Yeah, take your time. I can reread it too if you need me.
Initial reaction to you coming out as trans, we were in the car and you told me you were a boy, and I happily started crying and said, yes, you are.
Yeah, like, this is perfection.
No.
Literally, like...
Did I always know that you were trans? No, that's a difficult one just because, like, you didn't even know. So how could I know? However, I'm a Taurus and I think that I have some kind of psychic ability.
Go ahead and explain.
But for some reason, I struggled very hard to come out as queer when I first realized that I was, and through my first queer relationship and whatnot. And then when I started dating Luke, for some reason had this weird feeling because my family, my mom wasn't supportive, and I in my head would think things like, if he comes out as trans, she's going to be supportive, which is really, really weird. Like, if when he's trans, if he's a boy, are you going to be supportive then? These weird thoughts would come into my head. And I never told you that until after.
Yeah, that is so wild.
But I also, like, bought you books about, like, transitioning and things like that.
Well, that was much later on.
Yeah, it was much later. So, did I know you were trans? No, but I did. I think that my soul knew that something was different about your soul and the life experience you were having, and I felt like there was more to your story.
Yeah.
Is maybe the short answer to that. I love you.
I love you so much.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, I've never had anyone see me for me the way that you do, just so genuinely and effortlessly almost. It's like I can, like, over explain, but I don't need to with her. Like, she just gets it. I could just give her a look and she's like, I know. I love that. I love you so much.
Yeah, lipstick lock. I don't actually have psychic abilities, just so you know. What is your favorite book?
What is your favorite book? I don't know if I have a favorite book.
Think about it.
The Sundown Motel. I love thrillers, and I read that one in London on our honeymoon. I read it in like a day or two.
And then I read it in a day because you loved it so much.
Yeah, so
it's a good one.
But a close second would also be Evelyn Hugo. What was the full title?
The Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo.
The Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo. So good. So those are a tie.
Yeah.
And I read both of those in 2020.
I go with The Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo.
Yeah.
So good.
How is the book writing going?
Which is really funny because I just accidentally skipped a question for you that would have gone with your question prior, and now your question goes with the question that I went to.
Yeah.
That's cute. Okay, so the book...
I think you should catch our new subscribers up.
Oh, I'm writing an LGBTQ young adult novel that I started in 2019, and that has completely 100% changed from what it originally was. Transformed. I love it. It is going well. I don't write every single day anymore because I can't shut my brain off when I'm writing. It's almost like I'm living in a different world, and I can't tap back into reality. So it creates a lot of distance between us, even though I'm literally right beside him. I'm just not there. So I can't do that every single day. It causes me a lot of anxiety too, to be like that every single day. So I've been not giving myself deadlines where it's I have to be done with this chapter by this day. I just kind of write as I feel it. Or if I am having a day where I'm having obsessive thoughts, then that's probably a good day to go ahead and write because I'm already obsessing about something anyway. But The book has completely changed. I love the storyline now. It's now in the viewpoint of 2 different characters, so it goes back and forth, and I am hoping to be finished in 2022. I think it will be. Is it my turn?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So I accidentally skipped this question, but did you ever get scared that I would leave you for coming out?
Honestly, no. And then when I hear, questions like that at this point, where like I hear other people's experiences where their partner, couldn't accept them or be with them because they came out as trans, I'm like, I'm not taking you for granted. It's like I just know you have provided such a safe space for me from, the moment we met, but through my journey of figuring myself out, that I never once doubted. So like that is all credit to you, that you made me not have any doubts or questions about your love for me and the strength of our relationship. It makes me really sad for people that don't have someone like you, but I just absolutely hit the jackpot, and I don't take you for granted a single second.
I don't take you for granted.
Or as Baby would say, granted.
Granted.
I don't take you for granted either.
Yeah,
I
that's
love
very
you.
sweet. Oh yeah.
All right. What is your favorite book right now?
Ah! Okay. Well, you kind of stole probably mine right now, because I would have probably said The 7 Husbands of Evelyn Hugo. But I also love Where the Crawdads Sing. Ooh. Okay, I think my favorite series, I'm gonna go with books that I read this year, because it's really hard to say my favorite ever.
Mm-hmm.
Ones that I would be like, you should read are Where the Crawdads Sing, The 7 Husbands of Evelyn Hugo, Children of Blood and Bone.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I read those too, and they're so good.
So good.
So good.
Can't
wait for the movies.
Some really great ones.
Those are great ones. You're up against
Okay. What is your favorite outfit of mine?
Oh. Her birthday suit looks real good. Neutrals. Neutral monochrome.
What's a real outfit?
Gosh,
Can you think of one?
That's hard.
Mm-hmm.
Because I literally love every single outfit that you put on. You're so freaking hot.
Thank you.
I love that green dress. Is it velvet? Or not velvet?
Green.
There was a long green dress that you wore, and I don't even know when you wore it, but I'm picturing it. Did you wear it on an anniversary? No, you wore a dress. I got you on an anniversary.
A long green dress?
You even know what I'm talking about?
No! Does it have flowers?
No, it's solid. And you wore your hair where you pinned one side back and the other side was in the front.
That was our anniversary in the blue dress you bought me, right?
But it wasn't a green dress? I know you did that for that.
I'm trying to picture a long green dress.
Okay, we're gonna skip that outfit, and another favorite that popped in my mind was you wore an all-neutral outfit with a skirt and sweater and socks and Joshua Tree.
Yes.
I love that one.
That was very cute. I am literally about to go look in my closet because I don't know what dress you're talking about.
Oh, then maybe you should go look in the closet.
I don't have a long green dress.
Go look.
Okay.
You have a long green dress.
I don't think that I did. I did have a long green dress.
I'm not imagining
I
it.
don't have the long green dress anymore. I wore it for our photo shoot for Hug Point, and it had the little sleeves that came with Madeline Rose. Is that the dress?
Mm-hmm.
And I wore the clip in my hair from
See?
Yeah.
I knew.
That was a beautiful dress. I don't
was-
have that dress anymore.
That was the first one that popped in my mind. I've never thought of what's my favorite outfit on Kelsey. That popped in my mind, but I also loved all your outfits in Joshua Tree.
Okay. That was a beautiful dress. And it looked very much like the one you got me for our anniversary.
The navy one, and you did your hair the same.
I'm sorry for questioning you.
Yeah. See? All right, Boa.
Okay.
Are you religious?
Oh. I love me some Jesus. And I talk about it all the time at home. So, yes, I am. Yeah. I believe in an all-accepting, all-loving God, and I believe in Jesus, and I believe in love, and that if it's not coming from love, it's not coming from God, and yeah.
Yeah.
Does that answer?
That's great. I didn't know how long you were going to talk about that one. So, yeah. Love it. Short, sweet. Yes.
I'll talk about that one a lot. So I guess that would be like a whole video in itself if anyone's interested in my thoughts on Jesus. But yeah, I love him.
Yep. Yeah.
Okay, as an Enneagram Type 8, what tips would you give others for communicating with you?
I would say a big thing for me is feeling like I'm being heard. And so, like, eye contact and, like, just engaging in a conversation, saying what you feel, like, not leaving anything to guess.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like that's something that could be, like, not necessarily a pet peeve or just, like, I will want to ask questions like, well, it doesn't feel like that's everything you want to say, or like, what's wrong? I think I ask you all the time, like, what's wrong? Like, if there's any kind of face.
And you just don't do good with, like, I don't want to say pointless conversations, but like random conversations.
Yeah.
What's the right word for that? Like, if you're in an elevator and someone just starts talking to you about the weather, you're like,
yeah, it's like cringy to me, like those kind of conversations.
like, it needs to have a point. I don't know the right way to explain it.
Yeah, like it feels like forced conversation.
A forced conversation.
Then I'm like, retreat. Get out. No. I don't know. I don't really know. Hopefully that answered that question. What's a hobby or skill you would like to learn? Something you've never done before, perhaps.
We were just talking about this. So you shared yours, so I get to share mine. I want to learn to ice skate. Yeah.
And you're going to do it.
I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it in 2022. Ice skating.
Oh, you're...
Yeah.
She's going.
Have you thought about coaching people in their fitness journeys again?
Honestly, no. I don't think I'll ever go back to personal training or coaching or anything like that because it was something that helped me when I first got done with my athletic career out of college. It helped me cope with that ending and channeling that energy into something still like exercise and fitness related, and I got really obsessed with it, and then it got to an unhealthy place, and then I got out of the unhealthy place and just like took a break from, you know, fitness culture and fitness life and unfollowed fitness type accounts and everything on social media just to like let myself like heal from that and be able to see my obsession with working out and fitness and nutrition and things like that from a different perspective. And so now that I'm out of it and I'm just loving working out just for my own benefit and because it makes me feel good and for my mental health and stuff, it's just for me. I feel like I would take on a lot of pressure and, you know, would feel like I have to be obsessive about it again in order to be a coach. And so for me, I just feel like it's just not a path that I want to go down again, just in case.
Good answer.
Thank you. What has been something difficult or challenging for you during my transition?
So I don't know that anything has necessarily been difficult. However, I've noticed that there are things that I can like tolerate from a female that I will not tolerate from a male. So there are things sometimes, if Luke were to say something, for instance, to me, like one time he was joking about wanting me to cook for him because he does all the cooking, and I didn't like that at all.
Well, you gotta provide context.
I said you were jokingly talking about it.
I know, but let me give some context. Just a little brief. She is on Pinterest all the time, showing me recipes. I'm gonna make this for you. Oh my gosh, we should make this. I'm gonna make this for you. And it was basically a conversation of, when are you gonna make me one of those things that you keep telling me you're gonna make?
I don't want a man to tell me to cook.
It wasn't that at all.
What it is.
It wasn't that at all.
I know it wasn't. But that's been the only thing of like, or if we're like in a disagreement and his tone is a certain way, I don't like hearing a man's voice talking to me any type of way. So that has been the only thing of maybe I'm like, you can't talk to me like that.
That's fair. I have to monitor my tone.
Yes. Whereas previously, I wouldn't have probably said that.
But I think that also goes back to me just wanting to feel heard.
Yeah.
And so sometimes, like, my voice will escalate because I'm like, you're not hearing me.
Oh, yeah. It's not like you're not saying anything cruel. I just don't like the tone of a raised man's voice at me.
Yeah.
I don't like it.
That's fair.
Do you have any internalized, or did you have any internalized shame or religious trauma about being trans?
I didn't have any religious trauma because my family's not religious, and so I didn't grow up, with any kind of religious judgment or pressure on who I was. But the way that my dad speaks about people and has always like questioned my masculine energy just from a young age. I think there's just like, when you grow up with a parent who is, well, specifically a dad who is misogynistic, and the way you hear him speak about people, it starts to make you wonder, like, okay, I have to be a certain type of way in order to not be judged by him, and therefore does the whole world feel the same way as him? And so, I knew I was different from a very young age. I didn't know how or what, but I knew that the way that he would speak to me about, boy things versus girl things, like, would really affect me. Like, everything I ever asked for Christmas or birthdays or just things that I wanted or things I wanted to wear was always, quote, boy stuff.
Since you were little.
Since I was little. And I would get a lot of the considered boy toys back then, but then they would also surprise me with more feminine, girly things, traditionally girly things, and I would never want those or wear the clothes or want to play with it. Mm-hmm. And so it was just like growing up, just knowing like the things that I want was like gonna get a question mark or an eye roll or just straight up be, told no. And so it was like I learned from a young age to suppress who I was to an extent, and just to kind of feel out what was acceptable to be in terms of myself. And so I, growing up, I then was put into the box of, oh, you're gay and that's not okay, and, all those things. And even before I came out as trans, like, my dad would tell me, you'll never be a boy, princess, and like things like that. And that was way prior to me coming out as trans. And so then I just like, I'm processing that now of like, what did you see in me to feel like you needed to say that to me? Mm-hmm. And so I think that there was a lot of, unlearning that had to be done and is still being done in terms of, how I think about myself and allowing myself to be fully myself. Yeah. I don't really know. It's kind of complex.
Yeah.
And it's complex because I'm never going to get answers from them about, like, what did you see in me? Like, yeah. I don't know. What, like, from your perspective?
Like, you were kind of hoping that when you came out that maybe your parents would be like, I remember when you did this, and I remember this about you, and this makes so much sense now, and you didn't get any kind of conversations like that from them. So I think one of the struggles there is like, they like chalked that up to you being queer or just gay and now not like seeing like, no, it was because you're trans and you've always been trans, because you've always been you've always been Luke. It just took you 29 years to say it and to start living life as Luke.
Okay, last question for you.
What? Okay.
What was the moment you knew I was a keeper and why?
Ooh. So when we first started dating, we went through a lot within the first 2 weeks. Like a lot. My baby cousin passed away. She was only 4. There's a lot. I don't even want to get into it because I feel like it's too much for one video. But every time something bad happened, you were there. And what was wild about that was that you were living in Oklahoma at the time and I was in Mississippi. And that every time something bad happened in like the first 3 weeks, you were somehow there when it happened. That it like said a lot, that somehow you were always, even though we were long distance, you were always physically there when something like bad like that happened. And then so all throughout us dating, I was terrified of getting married. So I would say things like, you can't propose to me until my hair is to my hip bones, and all kinds of ridiculous things to just like push back marriage, I guess.
Which is funny because we started dating in August, like the end of August 2015, and in October we were in Birmingham, which is, I went to college in Birmingham, and we went to the mall and we went into a jewelry store and you freaking tried on rings.
I know.
Like, I have pictures in my phone.
But I would have been like, no, if you would have proposed, probably.
I know, but it's just like, I think it's societal pressures about like timelines and things too.
Well, I've been married before, so that was like my big fear of getting married again. And not just getting married again in the sense of like, what if it doesn't work out? I had all these fears of like, what if something happens to him? I don't know, just like all kinds of things of just not wanting to like be that connected to someone and lose it again. But then my dad died and you were there with me, and we literally watched him take his last breath, and I think that was the moment that I was like, okay, this is my person. Just like going through that together, and all that followed it, like all the plans. I'm an only child. He wasn't married. Like I was in charge of literally everything, and you were there to help me with every single bit of it. And I think that was when I started saying to you, like, okay, like I'm ready to be married. I'm ready to start a family. Yeah. So I guess I do have an answer. It's probably when my dad died. But he was already a keeper in the sense of I wasn't going to be with anybody else.
You weren't just there for me because I was physically there for you? Or you didn't choose me just because I was physically there?
No. I was still choosing you. I just wasn't choosing like marriage yet.
Yeah.
Until that happened. Yeah.
It's hard to pinpoint a moment.
Yeah, but I do feel like I had a shift after that.
Even though I gotta say, when I first met you, literally our first hug in the parking lot, like seeing each other face to face, I was like,
you knew right away.
My knee's a bit quivery, wanting to go to the ground.
You knew right away.
I did. I really did. Like, really, really did.
I love that. What is your favorite side effect of tea? I have a few questions left.
Oh, that's fine. How many questions did you write?
Don't worry about it.
I don't know. I don't necessarily like to think of them as side effects.
Yeah, I don't know the right word. Then, what's your favorite thing that tea has done for you?
My favorite thing immediately is my voice dropping. I love that. And then facial hair, body hair, like even just like seeing the way like my arm hair and leg hair has increased and like, you know, turned darker and thicker, even my skin is thicker and like a different texture. Like now when I feel her skin, I'm like, oh my god, you're so soft. Like I realize just how soft like she is and how different my skin is now. It's just like thicker, and I don't know. The body fat redistribution, like I love actually seeing like my body shape turn into how I always envisioned myself.
That's what I was gonna say.
Because I had so much just dysphoria, just like feeling like I was trying to get a body that I was never gonna get. Like with my unhealthy fitness obsession, like I thought I just wasn't working out hard enough. I wasn't eating enough. Like I tried everything, and like just my body shape wasn't gonna change because I didn't have the correct hormonal balance.
It wasn't going to change in the way that you were wanting.
Yeah, like it's like I didn't. It's wild because looking back, you know, it seems so obvious to me, like what I was trying to do. Like anytime we were like working out or taking pictures or anything, like I would always show Kelsey guys' photos, and I'd be like, I want this, I want this. Like I was never showing her any female bodies and being like, I want this. And so now it's just awesome to like just feel like seeing my body shape and size and just everything change and morph into literally how I always envisioned myself. And you know, going through a second puberty, you know, now I'm 30, I just turned 30, and so that's a little like interesting, but you know, I love it. Like I love doing my shots week to week and just like comparing photos and voice videos, and I don't know. So short answer, voice, body hair, body shape. It's hard to pick one favorite thing. Yeah, I feel like I had a short fuse for a long time, but I think it's because I was just like struggling with, you know, I didn't even have the words for why I felt like I was struggling and upset and frustrated with life and myself. And now I just feel like so much more at peace, and I feel like I can problem solve and, you know, like be more aware of my emotions and, you know, like where they stem from and my feelings and everything. Communication.
Yeah. And the last question someone wanted to know is, what are you getting me for Christmas?
Oh my gosh. They thought I was just going to announce that? Wow.
So you're not going to answer?
No, I'm not going to answer.
I thought you'd said that, so I wrote down another question. So that I
Oh
would
my
have to.
gosh.
What is your favorite characteristic about me and about yourself?
My favorite characteristic. Well, I'll just about myself. I'll say mine first, I guess, so I can end with you. My favorite characteristic about myself is that I love fearlessly and loyally. Like I am loyal to a fault, almost. No, you know what? I'm actually not even loyal to a fault. But
Scratch that! Fuck that! I'm not loyal.
No, to a fault. To a fault. I'm loyal AF to you. Like, I unconditionally love you.
Yes.
I don't know. I think that I love passionately.
Yeah.
Like, if I love you, you know it.
Yeah.
And I feel like that I'm a good communicator. So that kind of like ties in, because I communicate how much I love you.
Yes.
Okay. My favorite characteristic about you. How can I just say one? I love that I love that you lead with your heart always. Like I feel like you are just such a warm, loving, just genuinely kind person, and people can feel that just like by being in your presence or just speaking to you for a second. They just feel like they can be themselves, and that you're gonna love whoever, you know, they present as. And like, I don't know, I just feel like you're just so loving. You're like an angel. Yeah.
Thank you, baby. It's very sweet. so much.
I love you.
My favorite characteristic about you is that you are very like straightforward in your feelings and your thoughts, and like you're gonna say exactly what you feel. Like versus me, I'm gonna like say things in a way or sugarcoat things in a way that it might not even be exactly what I feel. Does that make sense? But you're like gonna be straightforward, and you're gonna like, I know that you mean what you say, and you are just unapologetically yourself always, and I love that about you.
Thank you, baby.
You're welcome.
And I have a good gut instinct.
Yeah,
I feel like.
you do. Bravo thinks so too.
Yeah. I feel like I have like intuition about like vibes and like people's energies and
You are good at that.
and
I'm not good at that.
Well, I feel like it was a self-defense mechanism that I learned at a young age, actually, to protect myself because I knew that I was different and needed to just like know who and what was a safe space for me to be me. You know, like at school, like, you know, knowing that I have a safe space with teachers and things, and just like knowing which teachers or which people at school, like I could say what my true interests were and like wouldn't be judged as, you know, in a gendered way. Things. And I've definitely brought that into adulthood of just like, you know, the close circle that we have and who we trust to know. Like we live our lives pretty much openly online, and like we are who we show, but like, you know, obviously there's more like just deeper intimate moments and, you know, things that go on in our lives that we only have a small
Group of friends.
small circle that we go, you know, talk through that stuff. And yeah,
I love that about you too.
yeah,
I think you're really good at that.
thank you.
That's all I have.
So I am 9 months on T. We are home for the holidays because this is our home.
Yes.
With our family of animals. And yeah.
That's about it.
Thank you to everyone who has been supporting us on YouTube, and if you want, you know, more frequent updates or just to like catch up on who we are more, follow us on Instagram. My handle is my full name at Luke Wesley Pearson.
Mine's my full name as well, at Kelsey Stacy Pearson.
So follow us, say hi. If you have any questions that you'd love us to answer in our next video, drop those in the comments.
Yeah, this is fun.
Yeah, it was nice to catch up. This was on our to-do list for so long. So yeah, thanks for watching.
Thank you for being here.
Thanks for subscribing and liking this video and supporting us. All right, love y'all.
Love you.